Welcome, Beth, to the UKAI Women in AI podcast. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Zahra. Hi.
I would love for you to introduce yourself to everybody watching and listening.
Yeah, fabulous. Hello, my name's Beth Wells. I'm the innovation manager at Weightmans Solicitors. So my role as innovation manager is really to drive innovation through legal tech, kind of looking at process efficiencies, document automation, and any kind of ways that we can implement tech in the firm for our clients and internally as well for the solicitors and business services.
Mhm. What inspired you to follow this career path?
So my route into this career path might be a little bit different to everyone else's. So I actually studied biology at university. So I always thought that I'd be a woman in STEM, kind of working in a lab every day. And that was what really interested me. And then in my third year of university, that's when I got a job as an admin assistant at Weightmans Solicitors. And it was really my first experience of law. And then as I graduated, I did a little bit of work in a lab over the summer. Really loved the work that we did, but I just knew it really wasn't for me, kind of being in a windowless room every single day. Um, and the parts that I did love, I realized that that was the problem solving elements of that role and really the creativity that you can put into something like biology. Um, so then as I graduated, it all kind of happened at a really brilliant time. Um, Innovation was kind of becoming a thing almost in law and legal tech. And Waitman's was always one of the firms that was really at the forefront of driving innovation and put a lot of investment into innovation really early on. So we were very fortunate to have our managing partner then, John Scorer, who knew that he wanted to invest in innovation and kind of develop a team. And we had Stuart Whittle and Katrina Wolfenden as well, all heading up this innovation team at the same time. So I'd graduated university, was still working as an admin assistant, was trying to figure out kind of next steps. And that's when this role came up as legal engineer in the innovation team. So took that opportunity, thought maybe it would be a temporary thing. We didn't really know where it was going. So the flexibility in that was really something that I wasn't used to in biology and in science. Um, but it's all worked out really well, and I'm here 8 years later now, so they can't get rid of me. But yeah, I've really been enjoying it, and since that time, so 8 years ago now, we've started as a team of four, and we've progressed now into a department of 32, I think it is. Um, so yeah, and I've really kind of grown with the team as well. So I think like the spark really was trying to figure out what I wanted to do. And I think at that age, like I was 21 and I know what, I think you think that you're meant to know what you're meant to do for the rest of your life and kind of sign yourself up for something. Um, but yeah, I think the spark was just trying to figure out kind of the parts of my degree that I really enjoyed and how I could then translate that into a career. And then yeah, I've kind of ended up as innovation manager now at a law firm that I really didn't think I'd be doing 10 years ago. So yeah, it's all worked out for the better and I really enjoy it. So
It's amazing.
yeah.
In this growth that you experienced, I'm sure that you must have, come across some challenging times or challenging situations. I'd love to
hmm
share a key challenge or maybe even more than one if you wanted to, and also share how did you overcome it? What approach did you take? Because it helps people to, learn from your experience.
Yeah, I think one of my key challenges is definitely imposter syndrome. So I think stepping into a whole other world of work, really. So this was my first, I don't know if you'd call it like a real job. So definitely my first office role. So stepping into that for the first time at 21 was just a crazy experience. And then stepping into a whole new area. So I was very comfortable in science. I've kind of always done it my entire life. So stepping from that kind of environment into law was a big shock to the system, I think, and not knowing everything about it all. So there's a whole like language that's used, even the way technology is used or isn't used, and just the people that you're with are completely different. So um, I'd say that was a big shock when I first kind of moved into it, and it still kind of is ongoing now as well. So um, yeah, I'd say imposter syndrome was definitely one of them, trying to like, and I think overcoming that is the support of my manager, Katrina, for example, and kind of building a network within that to kind of build yourself up and talking to other people, like networking and kind of hearing stories from them of they've experienced a similar thing and how they kind of overcame it. Because I think again, like what I mentioned earlier, you think at that age and you think even now at a certain age, you have expectations of like what you should think and where you should be in your life. And you just think everyone has it together all the time and knows exactly what they're talking about all the time. And I remember like someone turning around to me once being like, no one knows what they're doing, everyone else is just winging it. And I remember that so vividly of like everyone else is just winging it. Um, and I think that really helps with something like that when you're like, oh, everyone else is kind of having this thought process as well, or kind of understands like where I'm coming from. So I think, yeah, just kind of building up that network is really valuable to kind of hear them stories and then kind of the way that they've coped with it and like their mechanisms for it. Might not be perfect for you, but I think just being able to draw from that and take bits and bobs from different people and experience as well just really helps with that kind of imposter syndrome like in your head because it is all mental. So yeah, I think that's definitely a big one for me. And then I think again, just like the shift when I came into law and kind of this environment, the big difference, especially like working in a team like innovation. I've come from such a tech forward environment where everything is kind of you would use technology so much within um a STEM role to then come into law and it's like you've got to deal with the trust and the education and then kind of building that relationship internally and with clients as well to trust the tech as well. So that's been definitely a key challenge in my time here, but I've really enjoyed it all. And I'd say it's definitely been a positive experience as well.
Would you say, listening to you, that it seems to me that the role of mentors or role models has been important for you?
Yeah, 100%. I've been so lucky to have Katrina um kind of with me the entire way. She's so supportive and um in everything. So yeah, having that kind of mentor role throughout all of this to teach me the basics, even how do you book a meeting room and how do you draft an email, some of the most basic um kind of office job roles that you don't even think that you'd need to teach someone. She's been there like every step of the way. And then some of the more like personal support as well. She's been amazing. So just having that, I think Weightmans as a firm, laws sometimes a very difficult environment, and I think some firms get a really bad stick for that work-life balance. I think Waitman's are really great at kind of having that balance and having a head office in Liverpool. It is a bit of a different dynamic to maybe other firms. And then definitely as having Kat as my manager as well as I'm so fortunate to kind of have her support and then the team around me as well are just fantastic. I can't sing their praises enough. So I'm really lucky to kind of have that support system in place. So yeah, 100% having like um a mentor or any kind of network to support you throughout that, as well as like peers in the same kind of role or in the same kind of level as you as well is really great. Um, but easier said than done because obviously if you're in a smaller firm or you're not comfortable enough kind of putting yourself in them situations to network, it can be really difficult to kind of build that network up. So I've been very fortunate to kind of almost be gifted um, this network system. So yeah, I do understand how lucky I am.
It's really good to hear about your very supportive environment. What are your future plans?
I think the it's really difficult to kind of decide. Well, not that it might not be my decision, um, but I think the future, it's always kind of been, I'm always really rubbish at planning that far in advance. I think like that's been one of the benefits of being in this kind of team is that we've been in it from the start and we've kind of gone with the flow throughout. Obviously, there's strategy and there's planning behind that. But you do have to be comfortable with kind of ebbs and flows and changes in that strategy plan. You know, you can spend weeks planning something out, having a 3-year plan, a 5-year plan, a 10-year plan. Um, and then, yeah, I think for me, I've just kind of been comfortable kind of going with the flow. Um, so yeah, I do think that'll be, I'm not sure, to be honest. I don't know if that's a good answer. But yeah, I'm just kind of ready to do whatever
Mhm.
and kind of see because who knows what's going to come up in the next year even. So yeah, especially with like the introduction of AI and the way that tech changes constantly. Um, we'll see. But I would love to still be in my role now. So yeah.
It seemed like you want to keep, an open mind and you are, happy to look at opportunities as they come, which is a really good mindset. Um, what would you say that you have a kind of a vision or where you would see yourself in the next maybe 5 or 10 years? Is there a direction you want to kind of ideally you'd like to focus on
Um,
or think about?
yeah, I think now I think the UKAI group has really opened my eyes to other areas as well. So I think in law you can tend to get stuck in like almost like a legal bubble. And I do love that, like networking with the other firms, like the innovation teams across different firms as well do know each other, which is always really lovely. But I think kind of joining groups like this and kind of expanding your like knowledge base and your network base as well has really kind of opened my eyes to like a whole new world. So I think kind of venturing into other kind of experiences and kind of stepping out of my comfort zone as well. So helping with the events and kind of speaking at events as well is definitely not something that I've really done before. So I think that'll kind of be next steps. And then of course, hopefully the team kind of continues to grow and kind of thrive in the work that we're doing. And I think having these new experiences outside like my day-to-day role will really help then build on the work that we're doing internally as well and kind of thinking about like different ways that we can be doing that work and different experiences from people in different fields as well. Um, so yeah, I think just carrying on and expanding kind of that kind of side of the networking as well would be really great.
Mhm. Beth, what advice or, just maybe a few tips that you would offer to other girls who want to, follow in your footsteps or follow a similar career path?
Um, I would say like continue to be curious and don't be scared to ask silly questions because I think people always think that they're silly, but you won't believe like how many times we'll get asked that question. So it's clearly not silly. Um, so I think it is that like building that network up, kind of finding who will support you in them roles as well and finding the right place for you as well. So I think sometimes people have it in their mind that they have like this set role that they want to be, but they don't think that the environment and the company will actually influence them that much when it does. I think that is like a really big part in it, and you do need to make sure that as cringy as it is, you have that like culture fit with somewhere. So I'd say like play, invest quite a lot of time kind of investigating that culture fit. You can find stuff on Glassdoor. It's only ever going to be the super positive, the super negative. But try and reach out to people that have worked at the firm for years, maybe left the firm, that kind of stuff, and kind of figure that out. And then I think building through that, you'll then build that network, which can really help. And I think sometimes people are unaware of the roles that are available because you wouldn't know about it unless you worked in that area. So I wouldn't know what an innovation manager who works at a law firm was if I was still studying biology at university. I wouldn't even think to search it. So I think there is a really great benefit in building that network, and then you start to discover these different roles. And I think especially as women, sometimes we can kind of look at a job description and like the requirements for a role, and if we don't hit 100% of the points there, or we're not excelling in that job advert, we wouldn't even think to apply. So I think kind of being able to have a look at that and understand that maybe you don't need to hit 100%, or you do and you just don't realize that you do because it can be interpreted in so many different ways. Um, so yeah, I think it is just building that kind of network point and being able to ask the questions that you need to be able to ask in that scenario, and kind of building off that is great, and kind of not being scared to venture out of your comfort zone because you could end up in a completely different career path than you'd planned. Um, but everything kind of works out for a reason, and it will work out. And it's just kind of investing that time and effort in the initial steps, I think, seeing where it goes.
That's great. Thank you for sharing those very useful tips. How can people get in touch with you if they wanted to kind of learn more?
So I'm on LinkedIn, as everyone is.
Mhm.
So yeah, all I think all my contact information's probably there as well. So drop me an email if there's any questions, or on LinkedIn as well. I'm more than happy to kind of help, especially with like anyone trying to get into the field or something similar. I'm always happy to kind of help or direct to someone that I know could.
Mhm. Is there anything else you'd like to share with people?
Um, I don't think so, unless you can think of anything, Zara.
I feel that you really have, shared your thoughts so comprehensively, and I've learned a lot about role models and mentors, and also I've learned from you to keep an open mind, not to look at opportunities positively. So I really love your very positive mindset,
Glass half full. Always, always.
and it's been a pleasure. Really, it's been a pleasure speaking to you.
Oh, thank you for having me.